Hello, and welcome to Coaching Corner with me, Tracy Forsyth. So, this week I gave a talk to the Telly Mums Network. You can check them out on Facebook. They have a subgroup of Telly Mums called TV Switch Up, and its purpose is to tune into the dynamic, transferable, and varied skill set they have and to see how they can be switched up. So I am a telly mum and who has switched it up and made a career pivot. So they invited me to give a talk and some advice about how to go about it. So I'm not going to give the details of the full talk here, but there isn't enough time. But these are the salient points, I think. Firstly, change is all around us. Digital has disrupted so many industries and ways of working. So whilst many of us thought that our careers were going to be very linear, where we started at the bottom and then worked our way up to the top, they're not. They may be squiggly. You've heard of squiggly careers. They may be up and down. They may go round and round and then eventually lead us somewhere completely unexpected. I mean, I certainly never thought that I would end up as a leadership coach with my own company, but I honestly couldn't be happier. And it's this work that I'm doing now that I believe will be the most impactful in my life. So we need to be responsive to change. We need to anticipate it coming and see it, if we can, as a potential opportunity rather than a threat. So secondly, I think just important to note that pivoting is rarely instantaneous. It's hard to walk out of one career directly into another at the same level of seniority or pay. So for me, there was a lot of research, development, studying, getting new qualifications, trying stuff out, tweaking, mini pivoting, and that all takes time and money. So ideally, you would start to think about pivoting whilst already in a role, rather than when you're worried about where the next paycheck will come from. So anyway, so these are the 3 P's that I think it's useful to think about if you're considering a career pivot. So number 1, or A, is the first P is the underlying passion in everything that you do. So I spent many years in television production before moving into commissioning and senior leadership. But when I look back, the underlying passion that I had through all of that was an intense curiosity about what makes people tick. And that is why some of my favorite moments making telly were in the back of a police car on Crime Watch, talking to the South Walian detectives about the cases they'd worked on and the criminal mindset. I found that fascinating. I loved working in television because I got to travel the world and meet people I'd never normally meet, from tornado chasers to cardiac surgeons to hostage negotiators. I was curious about these worlds and what made these people tick. Now, as a coach now, I get to work with that curiosity every day. I listen to people, work with people, and help them unlock the deepest workings of their inner mind and desires and all of that kind of thing. So for me, that is just heaven. So what is the underlying passion in what you do? Because there will be other ways to use that. So my second P is purpose. Purpose. What is it that you find purposeful, meaningful, a satisfying use of your time? What do you like to accomplish? What impact do you like to have and why? For me, I discovered that when I started mentoring before I became a coach, that I couldn't stand that there were so many talented women in the world who were so full of self-doubt, when really they should be bold and proud about their talents and achievements. And considering a Guardian report last week that said there is no equality for working women in any country in the world, that makes me hopping mad. So I found it meaningful that I could help transform self-doubt into self-confidence and give others the tools and techniques to really own who they were, what they stood for, and how to get what they wanted. That felt and feels in the work that I do like a very satisfying use of my time and my passion. So how about you? What is the underlying purpose you are serving? Or what is the underlying purpose you're drawn to? Yeah, because you can pivot into a role that serves that purpose more. My third P when it comes to pivoting is problem solving. For you to have a viable career or a business where you are paid, it generally means that you are providing a service that solves problems for other people. So for me, I work with a coach and I help leaders become inspirational, and skilled leaders, highly effective leaders, which in turn has an impact on the success of their business. I help groups who, for example, hate networking. So I solve the problem of how to network effortlessly. I work with senior management teams on strategy, hosting days where they get clarity of vision and a route map to growth and success. So all of this is helping or providing a service to help others solve problems. So think about this and listen to the people you meet, or kind of like think about the problems that are going on in the world and in what way you can problem solve or support the problem solving of that. So I think if you can combine passion, purpose, and problem solving, you will have a successful pivot that is meaningful to you, and energizing. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions, any thoughts, or any contributions to this subject. So many people are looking at different ways of using their skills. So what do you have to say? Take care.